Well, hey there, friendly farm hands. As the sun settles towards the west, I hope the present time was the best. Yes, been an awesome day. I got something pretty exciting I'd like to share with you. I'm creating a game. It's called The Sacred Journey of the Angelic Animal through the 5 realms of present reality. It could be shortened simply to the Sacred Journey of the Angelic Animal. Okay, here we go. The black box that everything comes in is called the Great Mystery. And the Great Mystery has something central to it. That's grace. Grace permeates all of this. You know what grace is? It's called the unmerited favor of your Creator. I don't know if it's unmerited, but until you choose it, you're going to just waste it. Okay, so grace permeates everything. It's the life force, the creative life force. And in this world of present reality, we have energy, time, matter, and space. Sometimes they call it space-time. But I think you've got energy fields, and of course we all know that matter is condensed light. It took Einstein to figure out that if you took a little matter and you changed it into light and energy, it'd be a hell of a bang. So that's where we are today. Got to bang up reality that every day we work hard to prepare weapons that are too terrible to use. So on this time-space reality, all these energy fields floating around, we have the wheel of life, the 5 kingdoms of life. So, since we're on top, we'll start with Animalia. That's one of the kingdoms. Pantea. That's what these green guys out here, we wouldn't be here without them. They'd be fine, most of them, without us. And over here we have the fungi. And over here we have the protista, the little single cell things, or small things. And then here we have the bacterium. Okay, so life lives on life. Life is nothing close to life has ever been found on any of the other planets or stars or even universes. Probably the first thing we'll hear about other intelligence is some kind of consciousness that wants to talk to us and ask, what the fuck are you doing with destroying yourself with atomic weapons? We are not in a stable state of civilization, in case anybody was still wondering. Okay, so you get on the board by rolling an even number of anything, double anything, and you will be given a body and a set of circumstances. Some people say you chose. At least embrace it, because that's all you got. Embrace it and run with it. Everybody's got their problems. You know, everybody's got their pluses. Okay, so as Stephen Covey says, the interior victory. the interior victory is being born. And we all are celebrating being born in a human body. And in that human body, we have to become functional. We become independent eventually. I know we're born totally dependent, totally undifferentiated. Pretty soon we learn our name. Pretty soon we learn that's mine. And what's mine is not yours. That's a later stage of differentiation. Okay, so once you're on the board, then we have categories of functionality, and you see they're marked here with different colors. We have, let's see, where is it you enter the board? There's some, I think I identified someplace. Anyway, these rotate quite adequately. They rotate. So nobody has to reach across the board to make their move. Okay, so once you get a body, you get a representation called a avatar. The avatar has 6 pockets. Before you gain the interior victory, you get all your pockets filled. I don't know whether you worry too much about the colors. We've got pink and green. And we've got orange. There's orange. And then there's yellow. We're almost there. So you've got to go around this and demonstrate your competency in all these areas, and you get to fill in your 6 pie sections. And this is the success with the interior victory means you're capable of living independently and beginning the next level, which is your striving self. The first self is your survival self. The second self is your striving self. And what is it striving for? Striving for success. However you want to define that, and some of it's pretty basic, like instinctual, keeping food and shelter. Then above that, another instinct is the sexual, although that's being drained off by online pornography. Lots of people that would use ordinarily sex to get acquainted, attraction and all of that, now out the window with personal phones, personal screens that take the place of social interaction. So within this striving self, again, you will have an avatar. I suppose it's your original. It could be. Why not? You just dump out the sections. Start all over. Okay. So you move this around, and what you're looking for is success, or at least the fulfillment of your ambitions to be successful. Jim Carrey says, I hope everybody is successful to their dreams, because then they'll find out that dreams fulfilled need new dreams. Okay, so you've got the car, you've got the bank account, you've got the wife and the house, and then you got the kids, and you say, is this all there is? The answer, of course, is no. There's much more, but it requires an awakening from the material, mafia, mammon matrix. Wake up. There's a spiritual dimension to reality. And when you get it, when you actually do wake up, you realize that you have a soul. A soul has a potential for an eternal reunion. An eternal reunion with its creator. That's what the soul longs to do. Return to the creator. And until you actually satisfy that goal. All the rest of them are just going to be, is this all there is? It's going to be not a fulfilling experience. Okay. Once you have realized that there is a dimension, so you leave the second dimension as far as your point of view, and you enter the fourth level. And I've glued the fourth and fifth levels together here, so just be patient. We'll get to the fifth level in a minute. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. Awakening. 3 is the awakening level. The awakening of the angelic self. The first 2 levels are of the survival self, the striving self, which are instinctual and materialistic. They are what mainstream universities teach. This is all it is. If you can't measure it in some kind of laboratory equipment, it does not exist. Nothing exists that we cannot measure. A certain sort of hubris of puffed up pride, totally contrary to science, but nevertheless, scientific dogma is real, does exist. Okay, so on this awakened level, there are challenges. How could God in this experiment ever expect this animal that had all of this intelligence and all of this free will, lack of instinctual programming, how could that ever be enough to make good choices? So we've got any number of examples where on this second level, people are successful making very bad choices. Okay. On the awakened level, it's really what Jesus freaks are. They're awakened. They're awakened to a love of not just their creator, but the representative, the ambassador, the actual highest representative, call himself the Son of God. He said, whatever I can do, you can do too. Just never take your eyes off of me and you can walk on water. Yep. Okay, so in this third level, with your avatar, you're again filling in the 6 sections. The 6 sections that some are given with the game of challenges and some are suggested by the participants to make it personal. What are the challenges when you're an awakened spiritual being? Yeah. Okay. So that's the serving level. And then the 5th level is the soul level. The soul level is where you're living unconditional love. And what are the challenges? One of the challenges at that level is, God, why am I still here? The desire to be with your creator. Sooner or later, we're all going to meet our maker. So the idea is be prepared. Will your soul reach escape velocity from the magnetism of desires? Yeah, the Hindus had a great idea. They said, till you satisfy all your desires, you're going to be a hungry ghost and come back here and want more. So, hope you can, taste all of your desires enough to wake up and find out that your deepest longing for your truest lover is Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ. The cosmic consciousness. We only needed Einstein. One Einstein showed us the way. There have been others who helped along the way. But he had the breakthrough, just like Tesla had the wonderful breakthrough about alternating current and energy fields, so many things. Jesus Christ said, love God, love your neighbors. I think that could have easily been translated, love your fellow tribal members. Several thousand years ago, right around the time whenever we discovered agriculture and developed domestic animals, society began to be a caste system, or at least very stratified, with a very few, the typical 0.5% running everybody else as much as they could. And that grew, that system grew of control from the top down, grew and grew and grew until it, and it grew because it was in an unstable element, a model of uninhibited growth, of the breakdown of social grouping. The nuclear family could no longer live in a tribal community, village setting, but it lived in a large, anonymous, open city. Jesus' second half of his message was, follow me. Very clear. What does that mean? It's been forgotten, ignored. It meant, join me. Follow my lifestyle. And my lifestyle surely was represented by the people who knew him, had direct information, had lived with him for 3.5 years. So those people said, we've got to all stick together. We've got to share our love of Jesus, because it's a hostile world out there. These Jews are persecuting us and hauling us away, throwing us in prison. We've got a heresy sect that they're trying to stamp out. So we got to stick together. Many embers make a fire. Separate those embers, and the fire goes out. All those scattered churches they formed in the beginning. In the beginning, they formed in groups that gathered perhaps daily to worship, sing the praises of their beloved. They consider themselves the bride of Christ, and that Christ is returning. Christ is more than just returning in spirit for everyone that loves him. He's coming back in body. Can't wait. I sure hope it's before we blow ourselves away. So in this 5th level, you're still here, but eternity is near. Anything, anytime, you could check out. You check out of your body. Go to meet your Maker with a smile on your face. But that's it. Once you're out of a body, you're out of choices. No more moral choices. So the whole challenge from the beginning to the end is about making moral choices. But moral choices don't mean very much to you if you don't realize a spiritual dimension. Now, Maria Montessori developed her whole system so that you would Follow your curiosity and discover your creator. Not anybody else's, but your creator. And you would know that experientially. You wouldn't read it in a book and say, oh, they told me that. Kind of like you can read a lot of books about swimming. You can even learn that you can't breathe underwater. It's bad to be underwater for very long. You're not a fish, can't breathe water. You can know all of that stuff, and it's not the same as swimming. So, if you want to understand these people who want to live together, share their resources, and work together for a common enterprise, you got to understand they're Jesus freaks. Their full intention is to love Jesus Christ with all their heart, with all their might, and with all their soul. The object of this game is for everybody to realize their soul self. Once the avatar gets to the soul self, one of his challenges is to bring his other players up to the soul self. That is the goal of the game. Everyone arrives at their soul self, where they are living love continuously. Living love continuously. They don't have to say that I love today. The only thing that happens on that level is they might find out, because they still have a body, that they made a choice that did not consider others as equal. Once your ego is dead at the 5th level, you'll have a non-localized identity, or you'll just say that I love Jesus. That'll be all you basically need, except a driver's license. You drive on these noisy cars on this busy highway here this afternoon. 5 o'clock, everybody's got a thing to do. So once everybody has arrived at the soul self, we can all say we've had a good game. Wishing you well. Bye for now.